Hi guys, welcome to my vlog. My name is Kyla Mecha. I'm all about food, fun and travel, and today's vlog is a bit different. This is because we're shooting from a different country. We are in the United Kingdom, and this vlog is about to blow your mind. It's going to be an awesome vlog. It's going to be both educative and fun, so please, however long it's going to be, I'm going to try and make it short, but however long it's going to be, just make sure you tune in to the end, because there's a lot for you to learn, especially if especially if you're planning to move to the UK or planning to move into another country, and also just for fun, or if you want to catch up with me and know this is the place to be. I hope you'll enjoy it. Day 3 old, but I had to shoot this video like this early while I'm still full of the emotions, so that you could get the clear picture of it all. Yeah, so this is about my traveling from Kenya to the UK, like how my whole journey was and things you shouldn't do. So please listen to me, because I don't want you to go through the same things I went through. Like, experience is the best teacher, but better learn from other people's experiences. Issue number 1. So each airline usually gives you a baggage limit. So for me, I traveled with British Airways, and I was given a baggage limit of 23 kgs for 2 bags. So I had in packing, I had 2 suitcases. So these 2 suitcases are supposed to be 23 kilograms each. Kyla ni nani? I packed and packed. I had a huge heap of clothes on my bed. I had to put everything on my bed while packing, and I had a lot of friends and family around that were helping me with the packing process. So at the beginning, we're like, what? How is all this going to enter into this suitcase? I actually had 1 suitcase at the time. And then, so we checked online how to pack and all that. I think where the mistake started from is that I concentrated more on having all of these clothes fit into the suitcase. So I learned how people fold their stuff until they're so tiny and they fit inside. I didn't think about the kgs. So please, while packing, have the kgs in your mind. These are things no one ever tells you. They show you how to pack things, to fold things into like tiny shapes and all that, but you're not reminded about the kgs. So please, make sure as you're packing, you have the kgs in your mind, like how much am I going to carry, how much am I allowed to carry. What I did, we packed and everything fit in. I got a second suitcase and everything fit in, and I was all happy. All my clothes are inside, I'm ready to travel. And then, so another thing that you need to do is you need to weigh your luggage. After packing, everything is inside. Please weigh your luggage. Even if you think it's 23 kgs, you can buy this small, what are they called? Wait, whatever. The names have gone. My friends. So that when you're going to the airport, you already know how much kgs you have, and if you need to pay extra, like, you're all prepared for that. So I didn't weigh my luggage. I got a weighing scale from my friend. She'd used it before traveling. And my suitcases were so heavy, so I was just reluctant, like, I don't have to weigh them, we'll just figure out what to do ahead. So a few minutes to me leaving the house, I was supposed to check in by like 9, because my flight was leaving in the evening at around 12 a.m. So I was supposed to check in like 3 hours earlier, like around 9. So at around 8:30 is when I'm now weighing my bag. Like, I got someone to finally who was able to lift them up, because they were really heavy, and they tried weighing, and one bag was 44 kgs. The second suitcase was 38 kilograms. Kyla ni nani? I was like, it's late, I can't start unpacking stuff right now, let's just go, and then I'll figure out what to do ahead. I just left the house. So we were advised that if I'm leaving with this much luggage, I better carry like an extra bag, so that in case I need to change things along the way, I can change. So that's what I did. So we carried 2 extra bags. I got in, and my family was waiting outside. So another thing that you need to do, have your family wait outside until you've checked in your bags, you're clear to go, then now they can leave. So that they don't leave you and you have extra luggage that you need to take back home, and there's no one to pick it. Then it'll all go into the trash. So they waited around. I'm really grateful to them. Imagine it's almost midnight and they're still outside waiting for me to let them know that I've checked in. That was so sweet. Anyway, so I got in, and then they were waiting for me outside after taking all those photos, and then the person who checked me in first was like, these bags are really heavy, will they really be allowed in? Like, we just say. So he was like, okay, there's a place over there that you can use to weigh your luggage and see how much it is. So my suitcases went in. They were heavy. I'm telling you, when I got here, I had muscle aches for like the first 2 days because my luggage was heavy. All that pushing, I tell you. I mean, the trolleys weren't enough to help me. So we get in, they weigh the same thing that I had gotten in the house, 44.38. So they're like, you can't be allowed to go in with all this luggage. Just you need to have 23 kg, 23 kg. I'm like, fine. Then they're like, let's go talk to the airline first. And then I was like, okay, 23, 23. So what do? They told me what the best you can do is get another third bag so that these two are the right kgs, and then you can pay for the extra bag. I'm like, okay, so how much do I pay? They tell me just go to the airline, ask them, then come back and do the necessary. So I go to the airline and I ask them, how much do I pay for the extra bags? What do you advise? They're like, the same thing. Just get so this guy, I think he thought I'm in first class. Kumbe nakaa first class material. He thought I'm in first class. So he told me, so you can have both suitcases. If you have two suitcases, let them be 32 kg each. So that will go for free, and then create an extra bag for the extra weight. Then that is what you will pay for. How much am I going to pay? You're going to pay 200 USD, which turned out to be like 23,000 Kenyan shillings. I'm like, 23k. Anyway, so I go back. I'm like, okay, let's just deal with 32 first, then I'll figure out what to leave and what to carry. So I unpack. Mind you, I'm doing this at the airport. By this time it's around 10, because there was like a queue getting in, and there's so many people inside. So you can imagine the embarrassment. You unpacking suitcases in front of everyone. You know, your panties could as well fall out and bras and stuff. It's not an exciting sight, my friends. Please pack the right amount. The right kgs. Just please. If you're supposed to carry 23, just carry 23. And I'll keep repeating this. I can't emphasize enough. Anyway, so I go back and then I unpack. And after 32, then I went outside, and my mom had carried the extra bag, so I called her. I got the other extra bag, came in with it, unpacked and left some things inside to create the extra third bag. I create it, and then it's like only 8 kgs. So the guys going are like, why are you carrying 8 kgs and you're still going to pay for these 2 suitcases, and this one is only 8 kgs? I'm like, what do you mean I'm paying for these 2 suitcases? I was told to have them weigh 32. They're like, no, which class are you sitting in? I'm like, I'm in economy class. They're like, no, there's no way economy can carry 32. Your maximum limit is 23 kgs. Like, but the airline told me 32. That's why I have been dividing these things. It's like, no, just go and confirm. So I went and told and confirmed. I found another person from British Airways. They're like, no, if you're in economy, it's 23 kgs maximum. You can't go beyond that. Any extra weight, have an extra bag. So I go there, and I have to unpack again. The suitcases are now 32, so I have to open them again and reduce to 23. My friend, it was not easy. And then the person was like, so yeah, you need 23. And then they're like, by the way, we are about to close check-in. I'm like, you guys, I haven't sorted out my luggage. How can you be closing check-in? I came here on time. So I'm just running around back to the weighing place. Now I've left the counter, I'm going to the weighing place. I'm like, oh, he said it's true, 23, then the extra bag. So I'm already removing things. So that is the time now. I just have to take things back home. I didn't even care what I'm getting out of the suitcase. I got the 2 suitcases, and then I'm trying to reduce them to 23 kgs. So they're on the weighing scale. So while I remove one thing, it goes down. It was not easy. You remove like something that is really heavy, and then you realize it's only taken a half a kg out. I'm like, yo, this thing is supposed to be like 2 kgs, you know. So I remove it, and then there's this guy I talked to in the beginning and told him about my extra luggage, blah, 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 blah. So one of the guys there that was helping me weigh called him. And then I told him, okay, please, I've been told the check-in is going to be closed. I don't want to be left. Please help me check in. So he was really nice and kind enough. He took my passport and stuff, and he went to check me in. So I was a bit relaxed, just a bit. He goes with it. He's from British Airways also. Unfortunately, I didn't get his name. So what happened after that? So while I'm unpacking and putting some things away, one of these guys helping me with the weight is like, you know what? We sell a bag that is very big and it can carry all your extra weight. Then you can just pay for that. I'm like, okay, how much is the bag? 12k. 12,000 Kenyan shillings. I'm already paying 23k for the extra weight, and then I add 12k on top for a bag. Are they for real? And the way it was a lady. The way she's saying it so casually. I'm like, girl, do you know what you're telling me? Like, I'm going to spend almost 30k just for me to get a bag and pay for extra. But at this point, I was like, I don't even know what to take back home. I can't leave some stuff. I was just fed up at this point. I'm tired. I'm frustrated, I'm embarrassed. I wasn't really embarrassed. I think at that point I was just like, I need my bags in, I need to go. I don't care who's looking at me, I just want to go, you know. My family was watching me from outside. There's a way the glass through they can see you through the glass. So they were calling me, also family and friends were calling me like, are you okay? We can see you moving up and down. What is up? What's going on? I tried to explain to them about the weight, but you know, it's hard to explain things on the phone. I didn't even want to pick calls at that time. I was like, you know what, let me just do what I think is right now. I can't listen to advice from outside because you don't understand. I felt like they weren't understanding what I'm telling them about the weight, but they actually were. But yeah, I thought they weren't. So I was just frustrated. I was like, you know what, you guys just let me do what I'm doing. So I told this lady I can't afford 12K. She's like, okay, can you afford like 7K? I'm like, it's still a lot, don't you get it? It's a lot. But then she was like, no. So I negotiated. At the end, she was like, I'll pay 6K. I'm like, 6K is still a lot. But time, I don't have the time. I need to check in. So I was like, fine. Then she's like, yeah, I'll just give you the bag. Then I'm going to help you pack and all. I'm like, if she's going to help me with this, well and good. I go, then I tell her, then let me, I was told you can check in with your first 2 bags, the one that will be 23, that one will go for free, then you come back and deal with the extra weight. So I'm like, let me go check in these 2, then come back and refinish that. She's like, no, let me just help you so that you go with all your bags at once. I'm like, don't you understand, I'm going to be left? But I just listened to her. So we went and got the other bag, 6K, my friend. We got the bag. So she started packing in stuff for me, packing in the remaining stuff, all the things I was trying to take back home. She packed them into her bag. Mind you, remember I told you I had already gone for a bag outside from home. So there's that one, and she's packing another one, and it's almost full. So I asked her, wait, I thought you said your bag is going to carry everything, so I wouldn't need this other bag of mine. But I see it's already full, and this other bag is packed. Like, am I going to have 2 extra bags? Am I going to pay 40-something K? Like, what are you up to? She's like, just relax, I got you. I'm like, fine, you do your thing, just as long as me, I'm only paying for 1 extra bag. So she takes it, and then I don't know what they did, and then she took her bag and placed mine on top, the other bag I had gotten from outside on top, and then she wrapped them together. So there's some sort of clear film they used to wrap the bags together. So they and she was doing that, it was on the weighing scale, so she knew, like, she was checking the weight, because the extra bag also shouldn't be like 100 kgs, my friend. It should still be within the 23. So she placed them on the weighing scale, then she tied the 2 bags together, and then now they were like one package. So in the end, what happened is that my 2 suitcases had to be reduced to 23, so they went for free. Then these other 2 bags that have been pressed together were also 23. Then now I had to pay for that. And then I had a handbag which had all my documents. It's good to have all your documents and money and stuff on a carry-on bag that you're going to sit with in the aeroplane, that is going to be like near you. That is something you don't want to leave your side. You want it to be right next to you. So I may just start with it at my feet there, so that if I sleep, someone touches it, hey, I'll just feel it, you know. You have to sit with them so that in case of anything, you'll always have your documents with you. I mean, if luggage gets lost and stuff, you still have your documents with you, because that is what is going to let you into the other country. And then what happened? Other than that, I also had another duffel bag that I was going to stay with in the plane, that was going to go up. So she also helped me stuff the remaining clothes into that bag. She's like, you're going to get in with this. I think the weight doesn't matter for this one, just as long as it's small enough to fit into those cabins in the plane. So she helped me fit in the remaining clothes there. And then I had a backpack, but that I was taking back home because of space. She was like, no, you are allowed to get into the plane with the backpack. So she helped me fill in again the remaining things there. So what actually went home was very negligible, like a few pairs of clothes, not very many. And what else went? Like really few things that could actually have fit. Is just that I was, at this point, I was just on a certain level that I wasn't even thinking straight. I wasn't even, because later on I came to think and I was like, these clothes, this backpack I had only had some notebooks that I could actually have left and fit in the remaining clothes instead, but I didn't think of that at that time. I was just thinking of going. But then later on, I realized that, you know, how she stacked 2 bags together. I had another bag outside. I could easily have asked for the other bag, filled everything in, and stuck them together. But of course, since I didn't have that idea in mind, I had to go with what she was advising me and pay for that. So you see why. Number one, it's good to get there early so that you have time to sort your things in case you have extra luggage and stuff. You have time to separate them slowly, have them go back home if they're supposed to go back, or just organize yourself slowly. You see, I was in a hurry, and this made me lose a lot of money at the airport because I was just chasing time, and also all that confusion, I tell you. So it's good, number one, to check in early. Number two, Just don't carry extra luggage that you have to keep checking, packing and unpacking. Just carry the weight that you've been asked to carry. You don't need most of these things when you come here. Okay, I still don't know what I carry that I don't need yet, because I'm only 3 days old, but I feel like probably I didn't have to carry all these things that are costing me all the money. And then another thing, weigh your luggage so that you know, I'm going to have extra luggage. What will I do with it? Am I ready to pay for it? How much am I going to pay? So I've gone to check in. My bags, the 23 have gone. This extra bag is here. How much do you say I'm paying? You're paying 200 USD only. That is like 23,000 Kenya shillings, like I've said before. Okay, what is the payment method? You're going to pay by card. Which card? Which card? I left my, by the way, my ATM cards. I carried them, wherever. Anyway, so I'm going to pay by card. Which card? So luckily, it's a friend of ours who'd come with us, and then I think during the frustration and everything, she like requested to come in and just sort of help me out. She told the guards like, please let me help my sister out. I can see her struggling and unpacking stuff. Let me help her. And they're actually nice. They allowed her in. So when we got to that point, I was calling my dad like, Dad, so I need 21K. You know how that funny that sounds? Yeah? Someone is not prepared. You're telling them you need 21K, like ASAP. Luckily, so I mean, the lady that had come in had her credit card with her, so she was like, oh, it's fine, you can use my card and then your parents will sort me out later. So that's what we did. We used her card, and yeah, it came to 23,000. Amount of money that I wouldn't have spent if I had weighed my luggage at home, if I had stuck to the weight I've been told to carry and all that. So if you're going to carry extra luggage, if you must carry extra luggage, just have cash with you in a card, because you're going to have to use a card to pay. That's the only method you're going to use to pay. And I don't know why you should go through all that after what I've gone through. Just please listen to me and just don't do this to yourself. Just don't. One of my suitcases happened to have a bad zip, so I was advised, since you're going to travel for a long distance and this zip has an issue, your things might end up, falling everywhere. So let us wrap it up for you. So there's also that service. You can have them wrap it up for you, and you'll get everything in good shape once you get there. That will cost you between 1,000 to 1,500 Kenya shillings. It depends also. So finally, I get to board and I'm leaving. I'm like, guys, I called. I'm finally in the plane. We going. I get to Heathrow. So my flight was from JKIA to Heathrow. Then from Heathrow, I was going to take a second one, connecting flight to Manchester. I get to Heathrow. That airport is big. Guess what? No one is there to tell you, now you've come, so just go this way, and then you'll find the connecting flight there. You follow arrows. I tried asking someone, and they were like, please follow the signs. So yeah, it's true. There are signs all over saying like, if you're going there, follow this, follow that, blah 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 blah. It's not so easy following, especially if you don't know. Like, you need to know what I'm going to do is I'm going to collect my luggage, or I'm going to a connecting flight. So once you know that, you can be able to follow the arrows, but you can actually get lost. So we just followed the arrows after landing. Where do I find my place? In a certain door that is like, we're going to open this door in 2 minutes. So I'm like, okay, let's wait and see what happens. I was thinking like the what are these guys called? The cashier, not cashiers. Whoever is supposed to check me in will be on the other side of that door. So I'll just be checking in and I'm getting onto the other plane. My friend, it was getting me into like a bus that will take me to another point. Ushamba. Anyway, so yeah, I get into it. It's like a train or something taking you to another to another point. I go there. So I'm seated. Actually, there were only 4 seats at each end of the train. Do I call it a train, or what do I call it? Whatever it is. So I just sat there. Everyone came in and they were standing. And me, I'm seeing seats. I'm like, why are you guys standing? Me, I'll sit. I sat down. Only to turn back and see the place is written, preserved for the disabled or something like that. Like, but you know what? I couldn't see anyone that needed it around. So me, I continued sitting. But yeah, please follow the signs. But I was tired. Anyway. So it stops at the first stop. I'm like, am I supposed to alight here or not? I'm not so sure. But I was like, I think I'm connecting and I'm not saying anything about connecting. So let me chill. Until the next stop, that's when they said, those who are connecting, I don't know, all terminals, blah, blah. That's when I alighted. So it's very easy for you to get confused there. You need to be alert. Because there's no one to ask, by the way. There's no one you can ask. Everyone is just doing their own business. So I go there, and then finally after alighting, there's like a board that has all the flights and the times. So you read it, and then you see what time your flight is, where is it going to, then you'll see where it's supposed to be. So mine was written to go to a certain place. So actually I was close to it, so I asked someone, so where am I supposed to check in from? Then the person was like, just go this way. At least at that point there was someone standing to show, but most of the points there's no one. You're going to have to figure out things for yourself. So I go there. Immigration wasn't difficult. I didn't have a hard time. Whoever was there was really friendly. It was just chop chop. There was a queue, but it was chop chop. I finished. I went. So from there, I had to read another board that said like those going to that place need to go to like Terminal 1. So I go to Terminal 1. Getting to Terminal 1, there are like several places, like points, like these different gates. So I don't know where mine is, where my flight is supposed to be. I'm already at Terminal 1, but that's it. So I went to one of the gates and asked like, yo, me, I'm going to this place. Could you please check for me? So she took the card and checked. She's like, oh, this is still too early. So we reached Heathrow at like 7:15 a.m. And my next flight was supposed to be like 9:55. So she's like, it's still early. Wait until 9:15. Then they will tell you which gate to go to. I was like, oh, cool. I sat down. There was free Wi-Fi there. So at least I started texting my family and friends, telling them I've arrived. So at 9:15, I go to, there's another board. So you have to keep looking for those boards that have the time, the place and all that. They'll tell you where you're supposed to be. So I get there and mine has been scheduled to, they're like, it's going to delay to around 10:15. I was like, oh, cool. So I sit there. I decided to just sit next to the board so that I keep monitoring it. So one thing about it, just make sure you keep monitoring that board because they can tell you that your flight is going to delay. But then after a few minutes, things change. You know, that's what actually happened to mine. Luckily I was sitting there, but when I got there was a family that was coming and I saw them check the same place. And then when they saw the delay, they went away. But just after like 10 minutes after they had gone, it changed and they're like, so you guys can now go to a certain place, you see. So if you had left thinking, I'll come back at 10:20, you will come and find guys left. So please just stay there and monitor it. Even if they tell you it's going to delay 3 hours, just stay. So they're like, go to place A. So I have forgotten the names that I'm going to guess names here, but it was like, go to place A. So I go to place A, but place A has A1, A2, A3, you know. It was, you can easily get lost, you can easily be left. So I go there, and finally I'm at the right place because I can see it now on the other smaller board. I sit down and wait. Then they're like, so guys, we're missing the announcement comes. We're missing one crew member. So we don't have any further communications until 10:50. Remember, we were to board at 9:55. So they're like, until 10:50. So me and the guys, they're like, really? Like, why is them missing a flight crew member supposed to affect us? They should get someone else, you know. Then other guys left again when they had that. The next communication will be at 10:50. So imagining they went and were going to come back at 10:50. Me decided to stay there. And then like 10 minutes later, they're like, so you guys can now start boarding. So you see what I'm saying? Just don't leave because they've said there'll be a delay. Just stay there, keep monitoring that board. Because you might leave and then things change within a short time and then you miss your flight. And I don't think anyone's going to listen. Anyone's going to listen to you that, oh, there was a delay, blah, blah, blah. So yeah, I boarded. But I went to check in. But after checking in, again, it was getting me into a bus that will take me to the plane. I thought we were just checking in. Then the Kandenge is outside there. No, you check in. Then now you get into another bus, wait for everyone to check in. Then you all are taken to the plane. It's a lot of work. But luckily, at this time, I don't have so much luggage. I just have the backpack, carry-on, handbag. But they were still heavy because remember we stacked all the things that were remaining inside. So we went. At the plane, we were served dinner at around 12 and breakfast. So we usually have those blankets. Most of us don't know whether we should carry those blankets or not. Don't be afraid. Ask. My friends, okay, I happened to sit with like two lovely ladies and we sort of became friends and we're talking and we're like, do you carry these blankets or not? The Africanness in us. So ask and you'll be allowed to carry. Don't be afraid of these things. May carry mine. I have it somewhere. But we asked if we're allowed to carry it or not. So actually, don't be afraid to ask about these things. Even asked if you can take photos at VIP, and they allowed us to take. That's why I took this photo that most people think is a Mata Cyber, but that's actually what the VIP looked like. So moving on swiftly, we boarded the second plane all the way to Manchester. Luckily, even though the flight delayed, we were there within like, about 40 minutes. So we land. When I got my air ticket, I was supposed to be with someone else. Like my trust had booked me with another Kenyan guy. So I saw his name on my ticket and I knew there's going to be two of us. So when we were in Heathrow, while I went in to board the plane to Manchester, I emailed him because I didn't have his contact number. But I had seen, how they CC many people, so I had seen his name. So I looked for an email that looked like his and I emailed. But by the time we were leaving to Manchester, he hadn't responded. So I was like, oh cool, maybe we'll just meet uko mbele, So I arrive at Manchester. I was supposed to go to Terminal 1. That is what had been written on the ticket. So I'm trying to find my way to Terminal 1. No, I'm walking with. This time around, I have my heavy bags, my friend. But then this time it was easier for me to read the sign. So I was just walking. Oh, oh, this is where I'm going to pick my luggage from. Oh, this is the exit. So just, moving swiftly. But my luggage was heavy. It was heavy. Anyway, I pushed my trolley out. I'm following the arrows to Terminal 1. Then I get somewhere and I'm in Terminal 1. But Terminal 1 is saying what? Departures. I'm not departing. I'm arriving. So what do you mean, guys? Departures? This is Terminal 1. It's supposed to be the place I'm going to be picked at. So I'm looking around. I was expecting to find guys with placards with your names, all that. And then, by then, I've always been dreaming about this, like to be going somewhere and then I've received like that. I don't know why that was always fancy. That always seemed fancy for me. And I was like, this is finally going to happen. It has always been a dream. I've been seeing this in movies. It's going to happen finally. Shock on me. I get there and there are no such guys. So I'm like, where are people being picked from? So I'm just stranded over there. And then there was another lady with me there. She also looked stranded. So we talked to each other. You know how you become friends because you have the same problem. So we're like, so how about we ask someone for their phone, then we can call. We asked one of the British guys around there, can we use your phone to call? She's like, fine. She gave us her phone. So me, during the emails, you know how when you sent your email, you're told you can contact me through this number. I pick it and I call the number there. Guess what? I don't get the person I'm looking for. It takes me to switchboard. So that is not their number. It is, I think, the office number or something. So it takes me to the switchboard. They're like, hello, who are you looking for? I'm like, I'm looking for so and so. It's like, oh, what does she do? Where does she work? I'm like, yo, I thought she is working here. That's why she put her number here. So I have to explain, and then I realize we're not understanding each other. I'm being connected to another line. I know when you borrowed someone's phone, you're not going to talk for 10 hours. You just have a few minutes to talk. So I had to give back the phone. The other lady tried. So she called, and then later after a few minutes, she finishes. Then the person who given us her phone left. So I asked her, oh, so you found your guy? She's like, yeah, I'm coming to be picked here. I'm like, oh, lucky you are. So I'm standing there. And then she started ignoring me. And I was just telling myself, oh, now she's sorted. So she's like, me, I'm not dealing with you. Stay alone with your drama and your problems and your luggage and lostness. I'm like, it's cool. So I just stand there. I'm trying to connect into Wi-Fi so that I can check my mail, see if I've been texted or if this other the guy I'm supposed to travel with has responded to my email. Find out what is happening. My Wi-Fi wasn't connecting. So I'm basically in a new country, in such a big airport with all this luggage. I don't even know whether I'm going to be picked anymore or not. I was like, oh, the guy that was supposed to pick me, maybe so the flight was delayed and left. I wasn't sure anymore whether I was going to be picked or not. I was just there, confused, stranded. You guys, I don't know. I don't know if you're feeling me, but I was lost for a moment. I was like, so what's going to happen to me? At some point, I was like, you know what? I'm going to sleep in this airport tonight. Because I don't know where, I know the house, the place, the name of the place I'm going to, but I don't know how far it is from where I am. I don't know how to get there. I have no means of communication. So eventually I see someone in uniform walking around. I'm like, excuse me, is there free Wi-Fi? So she helps me. He says, yeah, you actually have access to 4-hour internet, blah, blah. So I'm like, oh, please connect me. So he helps me connect. And immediately, it logs in and then messages start coming in. So I'm like, oh, nice. So I texted my family quickly to tell them like, oh, I've arrived in Manchester, but I'm not met the person supposed to pick me. That's what I'm waiting for. And then I'm like, so now let me go to the emails and see what is going on. Before I got to the emails, kapush kapow, Wi-Fi gone. You guys. So I'm like, God, what is this? Now I don't have Wi-Fi anymore. So the guy's like, if you want Wi-Fi, you can go inside the get more. I was a bit outside to go inside the airport. That's where the Wi-Fi is stronger. But I'm like, with all this luggage, I don't want to be moving to the wrong direction. If I'm moving, I have to be moving towards the correct direction, because honestly, I'm tired. So I was like, okay, I'll go. Then I asked him, do you know this and this place? So he's like, no, I don't know. So later on, I was telling someone this, and they were like, it's like you're in Nairobi and you're asking someone, do you know of Mama Boy Hotel in Nakuru? Of course, they don't know it, So I was like, okay, are there trains from here? He's like, yeah, you see over there, blah, blah, blah. You can go there and get a train. So I'm like, me with this luggage, how am I even going to that train? How much am I going to pay? Will they even accept cash? Because at this point, I don't have card money, I only have cash. So that I'd already changed £2. So I was like, okay, we'll figure that out. So I was like, either I'm going to sleep in this airport. There are going to be two eventualities. I'll sleep here, or I'll use the train. But I wasn't really for the train because I knew how much luggage I had, and I don't know how far the station is to where I'm going, you know. So while I was still there pondering about my life and wondering like, so now what next, you know, am I really going to be picked? Someone comes and they're like, Kyla. I'm like, yes, I'm Kyla, please, I'm Kyla, take me with you wherever you're going, you know. So it happened to be that guy who I had seen on my air ticket, the one I was supposed to travel with. So he's like, yo, we've been looking for you for the past, it was almost 1 hour, by the way, so I stood there for a really long time. It's like, we're looking for you. The taxi driver who's come for us was actually about to leave you, because he was actually calling the office to confirm whether we should now leave you or what happens, because they thought I hadn't boarded the connecting flight. They thought that probably I was left or something, because they were not seeing me anywhere. Because apparently he had walked around with a placard, you know, in the whole airport looking for Kyla. Kyla was never to be seen. So he was actually about to give up. Then this guy actually just told him like, yo, just let me go look for him. Let me go look for her one more time. Then if we don't find her now, we can leave. So he went to the desk and asked like, did this person board the plane? And they're like, if you can't find her, you just follow the same route to the plane and see if you'll find her along the way. So that is what he was doing. He was just following the path, trying to see if he'll find me. And luckily, who is gone? He found me. You guys, I can afford to laugh right now, but it wasn't funny. At that point, it was not funny at all. So yeah, he helped me get my luggage. Then we went to the plane, to the taxi. And actually, the place we were coming to stay at a hotel for a few days while our rooms were being prepared. It was in quarantine. This that we needed to stay here while they prepared our rooms to the houses we were going to stay at. It was about 2 hours. It was actually slightly over 2 hours drive. So I'm telling you, imagine if it was 2 hours drive, how long would I have taken in the train? And then ever since we came here, I haven't seen any train station. So probably they're going to leave me a far off distance, you know. And then I'd have to find a way. I just thank God I didn't take that option. But yeah, I arrived safely. I'm settling in well. And that's basically it. But if there's anything to take home from this, let me just like narrow it down. Number one, make sure you check how much luggage you're supposed to carry. Check the weight so that while you're packing, you have that in mind. Even if your ticket is not yet out, so you don't know when you're traveling or how much weight luggage you're going to be allowed to carry, just you can try maybe use that 23 of mine roughly, but make sure you know how much luggage you're supposed to carry and pack according to that. Then weigh your luggage before leaving the house. If you have extra luggage, just pack it in another bag that you're going to pay for. Find out how much the airline is going to charge for that. Or just leave it at home and just carry the right amount of, the right weight, so that you don't have to go through all what I went through. Next thing is, check in early. Don't dilly-dally and then you want to check in when it's rush hour. Just check in early so that in case of any eventualities, you have time to deal with it. Other than that, just know that when you get there, you're going to be on your own. No one is going to be telling you, oh, you know how in Kenya you lost and you're like, let me ask the security guards outside Hilton. So where is place A and B? No, you'll be on your own, my friend. So just know that you're going to be on your own. Be alert. Try and read those signs. But if you don't understand anything, you can ask. If you find anyone to ask, just ask. There are people who are good enough to help you. So just ask. I'm not saying that they were bad, they couldn't help me. But, for them, they used to people following signs. So they don't see why you should be asking them and their signs all over. But probably you don't know how to interpret the signs. So if you can find someone to ask us. Or someone was telling me, why didn't you ask where you were going to be picked? But my mind was telling me I'm in Terminal 1. This is where I'm supposed to be picked. But apparently, this was Terminal 1 departure. There was another Terminal 1 arrival. You see, probably if it had come to my mind that I should ask, I would have gotten the place early. Also, don't sit somewhere thinking that that's where you're supposed to be until you're sure. Because even me, I had to confirm that, am I at the right place? Because you might be waiting, but you're waiting at the wrong place. So make sure you're just at the right place so that you don't miss your flights. Because now if you miss your connecting flight, it means you might have to go to a hotel to wait for another flight. It's just going to be too much. So just make sure you do that. And there's some advice I got from this guy now. Because I was like, how did you know like a taxi guy was coming to pick us? He was like, yeah, I didn't have Wi-Fi also, but I had data. So have some money on actually buy airtime. Have enough airtime. He told me he had like 700 shillings airtime, and that is what he used to go to the net. So have money on your SIM card, because you can even call the Kenyan line. It's just that it's going to be expensive, But at least you have money and you can communicate. At this point, money is not the main issue. The main issue is that you need to communicate. So have enough money that you can use even to browse, even if there's no Wi-Fi, or even call if you're lost. So it's not good to travel the way I did. I didn't have airtime, but even if I had, I don't think I would have thought of using it, but now I know that I could have done that. So please learn from me. Have money in your SIM card that you can use to browse and also call in case you're lost or in case of anything. Also, just know in advance. I didn't ask in advance like who's going to pick me at the station. Like I thought it was automatic that I just land and find someone there. But again, I got to a point I wasn't sure because I hadn't confirmed. So make sure before you come, you know, I'm going to arrive. Who is going to pick me at the airport? Will there be someone or no? So that even if you're lost, you know, no, I know there's someone. There must be someone. So you'll try and find that someone. You know, me at some point I was like, maybe I was not supposed to be picked up. Maybe I was supposed to sort myself out because I hadn't confirmed. So please confirm who's going to pick you. If possible, even have their contact. Okay, most likely they won't share their contact. You'll be given their contact, but at least it would be nice to know that someone is going to pick me and from a certain point. I don't think I've forgotten any major thing, but please just learn from my mistake. I don't want you to go through what I went through, but I thank God that I arrived safely. Prayer is important through this whole process because, of course, without God, all these things wouldn't have been possible. I wouldn't be here today, sitting here looking for good lighting to share my video. But yeah, I hope you've learned, and yeah, you can share your experiences in the comments section so that other people can also learn from you. I want this to be a learning experience for most people. I don't want anyone to go through this. So please, if you've had a similar experience or whatever experience you've had, please share it in the comment section. Don't forget to subscribe and share so that other people can get to learn from this and evade all this trouble and have a smooth ride to their new place. Thank you for watching my vlog. Until next time, it's been real.